1.3 deals with volumes again. So if I had the volume of a rectangular prism, we need to find the area of the front, right? This area, and then we multiply it by its depth. I don't know what you call that. Depth. Does that make sense? Okay. Same is true of cylinders. If you have a cylinder with the radius, then the volume of that cylinder is just the area of the top times its height times this distance. Okay, that's review. Well, what if we had a pyramid? Whoa, are you looking at how good this picture is? I should get an award. How do we find the volume of a pyramid? Ah, good. What if, well, so if I had that same shape, well, let's do it this way. Okay, the volume of this would be length times width times height, right? So if the base and the height are the same, so if I could pick up the pyramid and set it inside there, it turns out that the volume of the prism is exactly 3 times bigger than the volume of the pyramid. So if you find the area of the base and you times it by the height, you're going to get this volume. If you times it by a third, you essentially throw away all of the stuff around the cone side that you don't count. Does that make sense? So the area is 1/3 times base times length times width times height. And the cool thing is, it doesn't matter what the shape of the base is. If you had a triangular pyramid, not happy with that, then the volume is 1/3 times the base times the height. And you'd have to use the triangular area formula to figure out what the base is. And if the base was a pentagon, the volume of that is the area of the base times its height times 1/3. Okay? And that also works for cones. So if the height of the cone was 10 and the radius of the cone was 3, then the area is pi times 3, let's say inches squared. That would be the area of the base. Then we multiply that by 10, and that would be the area of a cylinder that was built around that. And if we multiply it by 1/3, now we have the volume of the cone. Does that make sense? So pyramids and cones, it doesn't really matter what the shape is. If you take the base and multiply by the height, then you times it by 1/3, and that will give you the volume of that figure.